Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the new M4 MacBook Air and whether it's worth upgrading from your M1 MacBook Air. If you're using the base model of the M1 Air, this might be the perfect time to upgrade, especially since the M4 starts at just $999. But if you're using an M2 or M3 MacBook Air with 16 gigabytes of RAM, you might not need to upgrade just yet. Let's break it all down. First, let's talk about the design. The M4 MacBook Air keeps the same modern look that Apple introduced with the M2 model back in 2022. It's sleek, thin, and has a more uniform shape compared to the older M1 Air, which has that classic tapered design. Now, personally, I've always loved the classic look of the M1 Air, but the M4's design is definitely more modern. If you're someone who likes the latest styles, the M4 will feel fresh and new. But if you're attached to the older design, you might miss that classic look. Next up, the display. The M4 MacBook Air comes in two sizes, 13.6 inches and 15.3 inches, both of which are bigger than the M1's 13.3-inch screen. The M4 also has a brighter display with up to 500 nits of brightness compared to the M1's 400 nits. But there's one thing you'll notice right away, the notch. Yes, the M4 has a notch at the top of the screen for the camera. Most people forget it's there after a while, but it's something to keep in mind if you're not a fan of notches. Now, let's talk about performance. The M4 chip is a huge upgrade over the M1. It has a 10-core CPU compared to the M1's 8-core CPU. And the GPU is also more powerful, with up to 10 cores versus the M1's 7 cores. Apple says the M4 is up to 1.7x faster for everyday tasks and up to 2.1x faster for more demanding stuff like photo editing or gaming. Plus, the M4 supports more RAM, starting at 16 gigabytes and going up to 32 gigabytes, while the M1 maxes out at 16 gigabytes. So if you need more power for multitasking or heavy workloads, the M4 is a clear winner. If you do a lot of video calls, the M4 has a 12-megapixel camera with center stage and 1080p HD video, which is a big step up from the M1's 720p camera. The M4 also has better microphones with features like voice isolation and wide spectrum modes, which make your voice sound clearer during calls. And let's not forget the speakers. The M4 has a 4-speaker sound system with spatial audio, while the M1 only has stereo speakers. So if you watch a lot of movies or listen to music on your laptop, the M4 will give you a much better experience. The M4 also brings back MagSafe charging, which is super convenient. You can charge your laptop without using up one of the USB-C ports. Plus, the M4 supports more external displays, which is great if you need a bigger workspace. So, should you upgrade? If you're using the base model of the M1 MacBook Air, the M4 is a fantastic upgrade, especially at $999. You'll get a faster processor, a better display, improved camera and audio, and a more modern design. But if you're using an M2 or M3 MacBook Air with 8 gigabytes of RAM, you could still consider upgrading if you want the latest features. However, if you're using an M2 or M3 with 16 gigabytes of RAM, you're probably good for now. The performance difference won't be as noticeable, and you might not need the extra power. At the end of the day, the M4 MacBook Air is a great laptop, and if you're coming from the M1, it's definitely worth considering. But if you're already on an M2 or M3 with 16 gigabytes of RAM, you can probably hold off for now. So, what do you think? Are you planning to upgrade to the M4 MacBook Air? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more tech reviews. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.